Hi guys, happy Wednesday. Welcome to Stamping A to Z. For those of you who are new to Stamping A to Z, it is a series I created to walk you through our wonderful catalog and all the great products there are in it and how to use each of the products. So every week we look at a new product and different ways, different techniques and ways to use them. So this week is episode 37 and we are looking at window sheets. Window sheets can be found on page 136 of our annual catalog. They come in a pack of 2 sheets. They are 12 by 12 and they're $6.75, so very inexpensive. Most of you probably who have used them or seen them know that they are used to make wonderful shaker cards, which we will make one today. But you can use them for a lot of other things. So let's take a look at what we can do with these things. So the first thing, these are the window sheets, just clear sheet. Not only can you use them as just a window, you can take any embossing folder and you can emboss the window sheet. Now I've showed embossing on vellum, which gives you a really nice crisp picture of whatever you are embossing. I gotta move all my stuff here. But with the window sheet, it kind of gives you a much more subtle look. So I've got this embossing folder is the Bark 3D embossing folder. I'm just gonna put it inside here. There's this line, not that it really matters with the bark, it's not gonna really matter if I'm not lined up. And then I've got my 3D plate, which I put on top. And I'm just gonna roll it through here. Okay, and then what we get, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see this on the camera, we've got this bark, very subtle look. So it's not the same as vellum where you've got that crisp white and everything shows. This is just a nice subtle look. So what I did was I used it with this is a new set. It's called Nuts About Squirrels. And I just stamped them. I put one underneath, and I don't know if you can see the bark on the window sheet there. And then I just put another squirrel on top. I fussy cut this. This doesn't have dies that go with it. I just wanted to show you the squirrels though, because it is such a cute set and it's so fun to play with. So it's a 2-step stamp. You've got the outside and the inside. So I'm just going to take some Early Espresso and I'm going to stamp them down here so I don't have to stick my head in the video, hopefully. And then I'm going to take this Cinnamon Cider, which is one of our new in colors for this year. Make sure he's all inked up, and you can see with these photopolymers very well whether you're inked up or not. And then you can just line him up and you get this cute squirrel ready to go. There's also pieces for the acorn as well if you want to stamp inside, so you don't even have to color them. It can be just wall stamping. I just wanted to show you those because they're super fun to stamp and play with, and I thought they were really cute. So that's your first adventure with vellum. So keep that in mind when you're looking for something to just add a little bit of texture to your project. Okay. Next is I'm going to show you 2 things with the windows in one card, but I wanted to show, oh, why is this all messy here? Anyways, I think this is the one I'm using. So we've done the alcohol technique before, just doing it directly onto vellum. This I'm going to use, as you can see, I've already used this window sheet. So I'm going to color the window sheet, same as with vellum. You're going to take your alcohol blends, you're going to color them on the window sheet, and then we're going to put it onto, this is shimmery white paper. So here I've got the dark fresh freesia, and I'm just going to, oh, this is like nails on a chalkboard. Sorry. Very squeaky. And then this one is the dark polished pink. So I'll do some of that. Just try and go where I've already gone since it's already there. And then I pulled, this is the dark Highland Heather, just to add a bit more. I was hoping for Gorgeous Grape, but I don't know if we don't have Gorgeous Grape, but I couldn't find it. I'll add a little bit lighter pink here. Okay, so we've got all our blends, and then I'm simply going to take, this is just alcohol in a medicine bottle that had a dropper, and I'm just going to, you could use a spray, but I find it's much more, you can control the amount and what you're doing with the dropper better. Maybe I'm just not talented enough to use the spray, but then you can take your heat tool, and I would hold it a fair amount because I just want to move the alcohol around. I don't necessarily want to dry it. So I think I need some more alcohol here. Hang on. So it takes a fair amount, and you don't have to worry because the alcohol dries so quick that it doesn't wreck your paper. So you know you can, and then you can always go back and add more too. Okay, and then you're just going to take your paper and you're going to set it down. Oops, I'm going to get that crooked, but that's okay. And you can see it soak right through, and then you get this beautiful alcohol print. And now if you wanted to fill this more, you could add more and you could do it again. This is kind of washed out, so you can come back and you can just fill in some of this, put a little bit more alcohol. And then you can just add it to that spot that seems kind of dreary, and then you can get a little bit more color. So you can keep adding and adding. I would, if it's like sopping wet, I would dry, but it's really not too bad with the alcohol. So now you've got your alcohol print, and then I thought I had an extra sheet, window sheet, but I don't. So I'm going to clean this one off. Hopefully my baby wipe will take it off. If not, we can just add some alcohol to wipe this off here. Maybe it's on the other side. Sorry. Okay. It's probably good enough because it's going to be on top. So the other thing you can do is you can stamp on these window sheets, but the thing you have to note when stamping on the window sheets is you need to use StazOn ink. You can't use Memento or any of our other. They won't stay. You'll just be able to wipe it off. So StazOn is the key. Now, the thing you have to remember with StazOn, oh dear, I think I put away all my, I did not. Hang on. It really stains your photopolymer. As you can see, I used it with the flower, and it is pretty much black. There is StazOn cleaner, but it's not great for the photopolymer, and I just wipe it. It's not the end of the world. It's easier to wipe off the rubber cling stamps. This stamp set that I am using is from a previous Paper Pumpkin kit. I believe this was June's. Yeah, June's Paper Pumpkin kit. It was the Expressions in Ink. It matches this suite and it is so pretty, you guys. I haven't played with it and I just pulled it out to see what was in it. And it's got all these nice, fun pieces. There's also some nice big flowers here and some words as well. So for those of you who are familiar with Paper Pumpkin, maybe you got this. If you don't know what Paper Pumpkin is, it is, I have done a video on it on one of the episodes, but it's a all-in-one crafting kit. This one actually came with two inks, which is nice. You can collect all your inks over the year. They never put the same one twice in a year, so you can really collect on your ink. And it comes with the stamp set. It comes with everything you need to be able to make what's in the kit. So it's nice, especially in the summertime, if you're camping, if you're traveling, you can do it in the car while you're traveling. So it's awesome. And even during the year when you're waiting at practices for your kids. I can't find a block. Okay, I'm gonna use this big one. Oh, it's because they're on the squirrels. Anyways. Okay, so here's my little flower. And I'll just show you. So when you stamp on the window sheet, you want to make sure that you stamp straight up and down because it will slide at first, kind of like Versamark on vellum and stuff. So just straight down. You want to just press it down, let it do its thing, and then you can see now it's sticking, so it won't slide as much. Once it's got its stick, you're good. And then, oh dear, that did, oh, I wonder if it was still wet. See, I get to show you all the things of stuff you don't want to do. Let's see. Do this over here. So normally it stamps no problem. I don't know if it's because I wet this that it's, yeah, so this was dry, so it stamped much better. So yeah, make sure your window sheet, obviously you wouldn't be using a dirty window sheet like I am, so then it's not a problem. So I'm just going to wipe off a little bit of excess stays on, but it really is permanent ink. But like I said, there is a cleaner if you really want to get it off. Uh-oh, I just lost a sequin, I think. Anyways, so yeah, so here I've got my background that I made, and then I stamped directly onto the window sheet, like this one with the stays on. And so it just looks like it's floating because I added dimensionals. These cutouts are from the Picture This dies. So I just cut out, and then I kind of lined it, and then I stamped as I went to fit it in. But isn't that cute? Like it looks like your pictures are kind of floating with the background. Oh, here we go. Sorry, I didn't have the comments on. Hi, Yolande. Glad you made it today. Normally I get a message saying, oops, I forgot. So I'm glad you made it today. I almost missed that you were watching. Okay, so that was two more things that you can do with the window sheets. Next is kind of a fun way to use it. I know there's different ways of doing this, but we're just gonna make a floating card, and this is a really easy way to make one. If I can find my Stampin' Seal here. So I just have a window sheet cut bigger than I need it, and then I've got a bunch of strips that I cut. So I've cut, this is Misty Moonlight, Fresh Freesia, and Soft Seafoam. So I'm just gonna take my Stampin' Seal, I'm gonna go across. Oh my goodness, I'm running out of Stampin' Sale right when I'm doing the video. Of course. How it always goes. You put it across, and then since I don't have one open, I'm just going to use the plus. It's all good. Apparently you don't want to put it on while it's on there because it will slide. So what I did was I just, it's hard to see. I wonder if I was on a darker, I would see it any better, maybe a little bit. I'm going to leave a little space, and then I'm going to put my next, of course I have the Stampin' Sale Plus on here, which makes it even harder to move. Okay, and then you just want to vary your size of strips, obviously. You don't want to have them all the same. It just looks a little more random. So you're just going to kind of go, do this one. Actually, maybe, no, that's too simple. This one. I didn't quite go straight, so I'll just fold this over so it doesn't show. And then I've got this one. And you keep going. I'm sure you get the idea. And then you want to cut off your excess strips. I ran this through the die cutting machine, so you don't want to have all these sticky strips to stick down, because that would just make a big mess. So anyways, cut it down, and then I ran it through, oh, I didn't take it out using a die. Here, I'll show. This is the Stitched So Sweetly or something. Stitched So Sweetly dies. Now, I do have another, don't do like I did. This one is super small scallops, and then with the stitching, I found it was really hard to cut because you've got two layers here. You've got, not only is a window sheet hard to cut, to die cut on its own because it's thick, and then you've added the cardstock. So you can probably see I had to run it through a gazillion times to get it to cut. So you might want to take something a little less detailed. So I was thinking the if I can find them. Oh, they're here. The Scallop Contours dies would probably be a little bit better because the scallops are a little bit bigger. If you really wanted scallops, you could also use just like the rectangular frames, or you could just cut it down to size and do a rectangle. But I put dimensionals here on the back, and then I just stuck it down to my card. So it's behind the strips, my dimensionals. So it just totally looks like it's floating there. And isn't this guy super cute? This is the penguin from Penguin Place. This again is another sneak peek at one of our new, did I make this card for you? Which card? The penguin card? You're the coolest. You are the coolest. You make such cool art. I was just watching your video with all your new cool things. You're gonna have to, we'll have to have a play date soon. I'm heading home very soon. So I just wanted to, so not only do we have the stamp set, there is a matching punch, and you can punch out if you don't like, oops, where'd it go? Stamp. So this I just stamped. I stamped it twice so that it would be super dark. But you also have the option of stamping this out in a black cardstock and then this in white. So then you get more texture, but you also get the solid colors, which is nice. And then this paper, I've mentioned this before, we have Celebration coming up at the beginning of August. So they have a matching paper, designer series paper, that goes with the Penguin Place that you can earn for free starting in August. So if you, can't remember how much this bundle was. I think it's less than $60, but once you spend $60, you can order the paper as well. So that's kind of fun. And I just think it's so much fun to use this little penguin. I keep feeling, I do have a sequin here. I knew one had come off. Okay. So that's the floating card. That's our next fun way to use window sheets. The last one that I mentioned right at the beginning is what most people use window sheets for, but I saved it for last because I really like how this card turned out. So let's start stamping. Okay, so I've got this beautiful paper. I don't know. Oh, you got the paper. Isn't it cute? And you can cut out all the animals. It's so much fun. This paper is awesome as well. I love how it has the shiny, side throughout the papers, and then it's got some subtle, and a lot of them you can use throughout the year. They're not just necessarily Christmas kind of stuff. Okay, so I've got my window sheet. I've pre-stamped. This is the cabin, Peaceful Cabin. There's a whole suite coming out. It's called, I don't remember what it's called. Peaceful Suite, Peaceful something. Anyways, this is the stamp set. These are the dies, amazing dies. You can do so much with these things. So I stamped the cabin here. I watercolored with some smoky slate. Oh my goodness, everything's falling around me. My space isn't big enough. I pre-cut, but I didn't punch out the holes. So this was the Scallop Contours dies, the biggest one. And then I cut out the inside with just a rectangular framelets or dies. Stitched rectangular dies. I think those retired, but you can't stop using those. I'm sorry. Maybe they aren't. A bunch of no, I don't think those ones are. That would be horrible if they did. Do you know, Yolanda, if the rectangles are retired? Okay, so I've got so this is my frame. So usually you have a frame, and then you're gonna put your window sheet on your frame to hold in your, whatever you're putting in as your shaker stuff. So I'm just gonna take my multi-purpose glue, since it's a very narrow area, and I'm gonna move my other pieces off here. I'm just gonna put some, this is just my silicone mat to, if I make a mess, then my whole workspace does not get sticky. Oh, I want to make sure not to put too much. You need very little of this glue for it to stick, and that way the less you put on, the less mess you make, because it's not squirting out everywhere, which you don't really want. So yeah, so you can see as you push down, it squirts anyways, and I have very little glue on there to begin with. So that's my front frame, my window. And then I'm gonna take my white piece here, and I'm gonna put my cabin somewhere here. So again, I'm just gonna put some glue on my cabin here. Decide where to put it. That kind of hides the trees. I don't have to Okay. And then I think I had this the right size, so let's just go ahead and trim this. Paper snips are a must-have for crafting. These little ones are a Stampin' Up! Paper snip. They are in the catalog if you don't have some. If you have a favorite pair, great. It's always handy to have. Okay, so I've got my cabin, and now I'm just realizing I'm missing a bunch of pieces. I don't know what I did. Anyways, this one will be, I guess, a little more plain than the rest. I am going to, so I had cut this paper, actually I'll show you if I can find it quickly. This one, nope, not that one. Not that one. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay, here it is. Is this it? No, this isn't it. Okay, never mind. I'll show. This was 12 by 12, and then it was cut into 4, so it had this big tree. So I cut off the big tree, but I'm still going to use this. In the dies, you can cut out some trees. So I'm just going to cut out I thought I had cut all these pieces ahead of time, so I apologize. I'm going to cut this off camera so I'm not pulling it all in. Anyways, I'll show you. So I'm just gonna, I have my outline of a tree, and I'm gonna use my tree, just the tip of the tree, so that I can get one of these pretty, with all the nice silver on it. What's going on here? Why aren't we fitting? Do I have too many? Oh, yeah, of course that's not gonna fit with the embossing plate on there. Just gonna run it through. Ooh. Okay, and then you can see it's not the same tree. I don't know what I'd do without my pick tool. So now you've just got that nice shiny colored tree, and I'm going to use it here. So then the next part is making the shaker. So I don't have them here, so I had to improvise. But if you guys have them, there are the strips, foam adhesive strips. Those are the best to use for making a shaker. Since I didn't have any here, I did have the foam adhesive sheets. So what I did is I took my sheet here. Oh, maybe there's my pieces. Nope, those aren't my pieces. And I just cut a bunch of strips. And since I have such a narrow frame, it's nice because I can make them even narrower. You just need something to hold in whatever you're using as the shaky stuff. So, I know, wasting my sheets on strips, but it had to be done. So anyways, so then you just have to peel them and you put them onto your frame so that you make sure that you're not going to see, you don't want to see it through the window sheet, obviously. Make sure it's on that solid part. And then I'm going to go from here to here. And this one is a little too long, so I'm just going to go to here, and then I'll cut it, and I need it on this end, so I'll just, oops, put this here, and cut, this here, just to make sure they aren't coming off. There we go. And then we'll use this last one to finish it off. Here we go. Okay. So we've got our shaker, and then we've got our inside. Oh, I forgot to take out the card base. Anyways, I'm pretty sure, am I able to stick it on here? Yeah. Okay, I don't need this. I don't need this, but I do need the inside. So I'm taking this subtle shimmer sequins, which is part of that Peaceful Cabin suite, and it's got all sorts of kind of some silvers, some shiny pearly whites, some shinier, some more matte. It's a really pretty combination of sequins. And you just put as much or as little as you want in there. And then you just peel your backing, assuming I would stick this down to your card base first. Again, do as I say, not as I do. I'm good at that, aren't I? I don't make shaker cards very often, but they're fun when I do. So then you're just gonna line it up, hopefully, stick it down, and then you have your shaker. So then, don't worry, I didn't forget my tree. I'm going to put my tree on the outside here, and then a sentiment. So here's the finished one. I've got the basic gray on basic gray. So it's all kind of gray on gray on gray with a little bit of white. And then you've got your shaker inside, but isn't that super pretty? And Wishing You the Best, I believe, is from this same stamp set. And then I cut it out using, I can't tell you how many times I've used these. They're so handy. It's the message dies. So it's one solid die, but you can just stamp one and then cut out one piece. You don't have to cut the whole thing out every time. So anyways, it works well with a lot of the greetings that are in all the different sets. So it's a great one to have. So there you go. This is the traditional window sheet. Oh, I forgot to show. Oh, I forgot to do it before I sealed it. We did Wink of Stella last week, and I don't know if you can see it in the video, but I put Wink of Stella all around on kind of the grayish snowy parts, and it just added a little bit more bling to it. But now I forgot it in this one. Oh well, I'll see if I can take it apart. So hopefully you guys have a great rest of your week, and you're not, I can't even see past the trees out of here. It is so smoky today, and the air quality has gone down, so I'm looking forward to hopefully getting some clear blue skies. It's been so dreary. It's sunny here every day and hot, but you can't tell because of the smoke. So yeah, so hopefully you guys are all having a great summer, and if you're on holidays, have some great holidays. And what else? Oh, this is the last few days for you to get your hands on the Designer Series paper that's on sale. It goes till August 2nd, so if you want to get your hands on those, you can go to my store. If you use my host code and you're over $60, you will get my kit class for August for free. So that is all I have for this week. I will let you know. Next week might be canceled just because, like I said, I'm heading home and not sure what day and how set up I'll be. But I will post to let you know if that's not going to happen. Hopefully it will. And yeah, so hopefully you guys have a great rest of your week and enjoy your weekend and holidays, and we'll see you next week or the week after. Thanks. Bye.